to say that in the history of my YouTube career, I have never been so excited to do a story than I am today. The release and the vote to release the Epstein files has exposed the corruption and the cockroachery that's going on right now. When I say cockroachery, I don't know if you've ever had cockroaches before, but when you turn the light on, the cockroaches run for cover. And that's exactly what's going on both sides. So me being an independent, I don't have a dog in the fight per se. I'm looking at both sides objectively. So when you see in this piece, there's footage from the Fox News and CNN. So we're covering both sides of this issue, and we're looking at the cockroachery. That's my new word. And the panic, because the House approved the bill, and I think that Speaker Mike Johnson was expecting the Senate to kind of hold it up a little bit, but they didn't. So in the House it was 427 to 1 or 471 to 1, something like that, and then it was a unanimous vote to release the House version, which totally threw Mike Johnson off, as we will see in a second. Because I think that he thought that the Senate was going to hold it up for some reason, but watch this right here.
Any reaction to Leader Thune seeing the bill without adding amendments or changing it?
I'm deeply disappointed in this outcome. I think I've been at the state dinner. I don't know. I was just told that Chuck Schumer rushed it to the floor and put it out there preemptively. It needed amendments. I just spoke to the president about that. We'll see what happens.
So do you think he may veto it? You say you spoke to the president?
I'm not saying that.
Is he supportive of it in its current form?
We both have concerns about it, so we'll see. I was standing there with the Crown Prince. We couldn't talk.
Are you frustrated in the majority leader?
I just got the visual of cockroaches walking up the stairs right there. But did you see, like, he was like fumbling? Oh, Chuck Schumer, rushed it through and this and that and the other. He was not expecting them to do that. So in this next clip, you're gonna see how and why he is like frustrated that the Senate didn't do anything, because now he's saying that there's information in there that's classified. They're not gonna. I don't think that there's any national secrets or anything that in the Epstein files, but there's definitely some people in there that don't want to be exposed.
Number 5, national security concerns, okay? The discharge requires the Attorney General to release within 30 days, quote, classified information to the maximum extent possible. This ignores the principle that declassification should always rest, and always has rested, with the agency that originated the intelligence. Why? So that they can protect their critical sources and methods. It is incredibly dangerous to demand that officials or employees of the DOJ declassify materials that originated in other agencies, in intelligence agencies.
All that was in the bill. If you didn't like it, then why did you vote for it?
The bill to release the Epstein files is headed to Trump's desk. It's passing through the House and Senate. The Epstein release has been a roller coaster. Is the ride over? We don't know. We know Democrats think it'll damage the president, but now it's backfiring on them big time. Remember, Epstein was a Democrat. He was a Democrat donor, and he hung out with Democrats and the liberal media at all of his homes. Larry Summers, who worked for both Clinton and Obama, was a pen pal with the pedo, even asking Epstein for dating advice. And now he's stepping down from his gig at Harvard.
You will have seen my statement of regret, expressing my shame with respect to what I did in communication with Mr. Epstein, and that I've said that I'm going to step back from public activities, but for a time, but I think it's very important to fulfill my teaching obligations. And so, with your permission, we're going to go forward and talk about the material in class.
So let me get this straight. These files out here got people quitting their Harvard job? Their Harvard job.
House Democrat Stacey Plaskett's also getting Epstein. She took thousands in donations from the predator, and he fed her questions during a congressional hearing.
Obama was president of the United States. And while we were once driving through a struggling neighborhood in Chicago, he commented that only black people could live that way. Attorney-client privilege, yes, I will turn it over.
You, as my friend Mr. Meadows pointed out, misled this committee even today in a written submission that contradicted your testimony. You have suggested you are going to review that. Are you going to review it in our next break to correct the record, yes or no?
Yes.
Question, you helped out the president's campaign or were involved in the campaign as a representative, as a spokesman, even in your words today. It was your idea for the campaign dating back to 2011. Is that accurate, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Weisenberg and other individuals, Ms. Rona. Who are those individuals? Are they with the Trump organization?
They
and
are.
Are there other people that we should be meeting with?
So Alan Weisselberg is the chief financial officer.
You got to quickly give us as many names as you can so we can get to them.
Yes, ma'am.
As Ms. Rona, what is Ms. Rona's position?
Rona Graff is Mr. Trump's executive assistant.
And would she be able to corroborate many of the statements that you've made here?
Yes, her office is directly next to his, and she's involved in a lot that went on.
Now, I heard recently from someone that I was seeking advice from him.
They caught you texting Jeffrey Epstein during the hearing. You're going back and forth, and they got the texts. What you trying to say? It ain't you? You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like on YouTube when you watch the videos about how they try to go into the bank and cash them stolen checks, and the police show up.
Raskin says it was a perfect phone call.
They've arraigned a Democratic member for taking a phone call from her constituent, Jeffrey Epstein, in the middle of a hearing. And of course, I don't think there's any rule here against taking phone calls in a hearing.
Did he just try to slip Jeffrey Epstein's name in there? Her constituent, Jeffrey Epstein.
But all these Epstein revelations are suddenly making hips clam up.
Do you condemn Stacey Plaskett just talking to a sex trafficker during a hearing?
I haven't had a conversation with Stacey Plaskett.
Do you think it was appropriate for her to be texting with Jeffrey Epstein 11 years after he pleaded guilty?
I mean, I have not had a conversation with Stacey Plaskett to discuss this issue because we've been focused today on making sure that there was a decisive vote as it related to the Epstein files and the release. I'm thankful for the work of Representative Massey, of Ro Khanna, but most importantly, the survivors.
Do you plan to talk to her about it?
I think that we successfully defeated a resolution that lacked any basis, was not credible, and was being brought by an individual who was trying to weaponize this issue to reinvigorate his own failed gubernatorial campaign in South Carolina. It was rejected on a bipartisan basis on the floor today. That's the end of the story.
So in other words, no, and stop asking me that question.
Yeah, I was just asking if you personally believe messaging with Jeffrey Epstein, who is at that point a registered sex offender, is appropriate for a member of the House Democratic Caucus.
That's the third time you've asked me this question.
In other words, would you stop asking me that question? Ask me that question one more time.
And I'm going to give you the same exact answer. Our focus today is on making sure that the Jeffrey Epstein files were released. If you want to have a conversation with Stacey Plaskett about it, I'm sure she'd be willing to talk to you.
I believe that Jeffrey Epstein had information, and I was going to get information to get at the truth. Having a friendship with him is not something that I would deem to have. And so I'm just looking forward. I'm moving forward. And I think that that's what we as American people should do.
First, you was making it sound ridiculous that you heard that there was a rumor that you were seeking advice from Jeffrey Epstein. We saw the text. You asked him questions. So now you're saying that he had information that would get you to the truth. Which is it? Oh, but by the way, ain't nothing to see here. As American people, we should just move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
It was an illegitimate effort to try to remove her from the House Committee on Intelligence, and that was defeated in a bipartisan way.
Well, let me ask you about you.
Okay, well, since you don't want me to ask her about her, let me ask you about you then.
Because the White House has been highlighting an email that I'm sure you've seen today that Jeffrey Epstein got in 2013. They say it shows you were soliciting money and dinner from an Epstein. The email was not sent from you. It was sent from a political consulting firm called Dynamic SRG that says, "We are thrilled to announce we are working with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. Shoot us an email or give us a call if you would like to get involved." What's your response? Do you recall that email being sent to Jeffrey Epstein from that team?
Yeah, of course, I have no recollection of the email. I've never had a conversation with him, never met him, know nothing about him other than the extreme things that he's been convicted of doing. And that's why, I'm just strongly supportive of the effort, backing the survivors to make sure that everything can come out, whatever is in those Department of Justice files.
So you never got a donation from Jeffrey Epstein or anything like that?
Certainly not.
Mm-hmm. We seen how you sick them political consultants on Jeffrey Epstein so you could later on have some type of plausible deniability, they call it. And you certainly denied it too. Mm-hmm.
Another email shows Democrat fundraisers invited Epstein to an event or to meet privately with Hakeem Jeffries as part of their 2013 effort to win a majority. So Hakeem Jeffries' campaign solicited money from Jeffrey Epstein. That's what we found in the last document batch.
Wait a minute. When I'm reading the fine print, I'm seeing in quotes where it says, Brooklyn's Barack. Did they really refer to you as Brooklyn's Barack?
House Oversight Chairman Comer said yesterday on the floor that you had Jeffrey Epstein over for dinner and took money from him back in 2013. This was after he was on the offender list. Any comment on that? And will you be holding members accountable regardless of party affiliation if there were any misdeeds related to the Epstein files?
Was that a serious question or a serious statement from malignant clown James Comer, that I had Jeffrey Epstein over for dinner, that I accepted money from Jeffrey Epstein? What's extraordinary to me about the clown show on the other side of the aisle is that they lie with impunity on things that are objectively verifiable. And why do they do that? It's because for months, Republicans have been burying the Jeffrey Epstein files. Not Democrats. Our view continues to be the same. We want to make sure that what the survivors have asked for, which is full and complete transparency in order to bring about accountability, actually happens. And Congress decisively and in a bipartisan way acted yesterday with respect to the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. That's a victory for the survivors and a victory for the American people. And Donald Trump needs to sign that bill into law expeditiously.
Okay, Brooklyn's Barack. He called him the clown show. I get it. I appreciate the clapback. But as we see, Jeffrey Epstein had a stronghold on a lot of people, got a lot of people squirming, including people across the pond.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so right now, like every day I get more and more because I'm just like, oh my God, it was what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep, Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific child this country has ever known. I had it all 3 years ago.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, because we got some more heat coming at you, because there's a whole lot of stuff that we know and don't know going on behind the scenes. Hit that that video right here on the screen right now so you can keep up to date. Till next time, take care.